alt season is here. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking about some critical support and resistance levels on some altcoins that you guys all know and all love. And we're going to talk about what is next, what is in store for them, and how we are finding some of these strategies. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to reference here is I'm going to be talking about a support and resistance scanner that has just been blowing up. That's just been blowing up lately, and I'm just shocked at how many folks are just interested, loving this, trading with us. And basically what we're doing, we're just trading support resistance levels. It's as simple as that. And you want to know something that happens with altcoins? They break out and they break out above and they break out below at critical support levels all day, every day, especially on a chart like an hourly chart. And so that's what we're doing. That's how we're trading it. And we absolutely crushed it over the weekend. And right now we're looking to get into some more of these. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the first one right here is XRP. So initially, like I said, or I just want to put a disclaimer out there. There isn't a perfect strategy, and this isn't going to be a perfect system. However, these are very important levels. And so we are trading at these levels all the time because there's going to be big old candles like you see right here that happen on a breakout, that happen on a bounce. And so that is where I like to trade. That's where a lot of folks like to trade. And so that's why we are doing this. And so this is a scanner, right? And so again, I'm going to have a link in the description if you're interested in this scanner. We got a nice little sell going on right now. If you check it out. So link in the description for that. But essentially what we're doing, we get a little signal over here on our scanner, and we got a bounce buy. So this one says bounce buy on XRP. We have an entry, we have stop loss, and then we have a take profit. So here we go. This was a really nice looking bounce opportunity. So you saw here, we actually had a breakout to the downside, and it did break out. It broke out a little bit here. There was some previous support here. So basically what happened, if we zoom out a little bit here, is that price continued to test this level. So 1, 2, well, this was the first initial one, then 2, and then this was the actual third one right here, and it ended up breaking out. So that was a good breakout. That was right. That was a right call. However, it broke out, but then, a lot of folks said, no, we're not ready for XRP to dump just yet. And so it came back up, and the same level that everybody was trading just a couple candles ago, a few hours ago, we now have a nice, beautiful bounce buy opportunity that flashed on our scanner. So we got that opportunity. We got in there, we jumped in there, and now it is looking for a more of momentum and a possible move up here to this point. And honestly, this would be where I would be watching for a bounce as well. And if it can break that, that's going to be another breakout. So it'll be a bounce right here, and then it'll be a breakout right there. So you see that right there. So if this comes up here and breaks this, it could come all the way back down here and for a retest. But if it does break it, we could actually just continue to just rock the upside. This is just XRP. There's so many other altcoins out there. It's alt season, baby. And I'm really pumped about this. Let's actually look at a couple of these other ones. This is Ethereum. You saw right here, this was a breakout sell. And so this was a nice level, another nice, pretty much the same kind of deal. The thing is though, there is a so this line right here. So this is actually boom, 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 a double point, and then it ended up hitting this one as well and bouncing. So now we're looking for another great entry on Ethereum. Again, we're looking to get back up to all-time highs at the time of this video. Obviously, if you're watching this later on, could be already back up to all-time highs, could be all the way somewhere down below. So who really knows? We're on the hourly chart, so we don't really care. We don't really care at all about the all-time highs, this and that. We're wanting to just get in, quickly in and quickly out, and that's what we're doing with the scanner. So this was a little breakout sell right there. This was another breakout sell. So we haven't had a great, the only great buy that we had was this right here, and we actually got it, right? So we actually got on August 12th. So if we look at here, Ethereum. So if you go ETHUSD, you can actually see every single previous one and check out these TPs hits. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's a stop loss. There's a TP hit. It's a bunch of great trades, bunch of opportunities. This particular one was this one right here. And so this was a breakout buy, and boy, oh boy, was it a breakout buy. Was it a nice opportunity? And so essentially what happens on a breakout, right? And so what are we doing here? What exactly is this scanner doing? Well, it is scanning for potential levels to break out or bounce from. And so this was a little bounce sell right here. So if you sell crypto, if you're short crypto, this is another great. I don't actually take the short trades with crypto. I just like to do the quick little long trades. I don't mess around with shorting stuff like that, but you can, obviously you can. It's just everybody has their own cup of tea, and that my cup of tea is just to quickly get these in and out longer trades. But anyways, that's beside the point. This is a zone. This is the zone right here, and it needs to cross and break that zone. So if you see that right there, it happened quick, but essentially it broke out of this initial zone right here. And so what I mean by that is that you see that, and this is a great case, and I talked about this in a previous video, and actually let me make this a little bit bigger here. So you see these wicks right here, 1, 2, I don't know if I can do, there's 1, 2, and then here we go. So you see those wicks right there. So those are all hourly candles. And what happened on these candles? Well, they initially broke out. And so so we initially had a rocket, right? We rocketed the upside. And in fact, we actually got that one as well. So by the way, this was another alert, a support resistance alert. So what a great trade there. But anyways, it ended up coming back down. And sure enough, this was wanting to break, but it couldn't. And so what happened was price was breaking out of this zone, and then it closed below. So that actually isn't a trade. It's invalidated. We're not actually looking for that. So if you're doing this on your own, you don't have to have a fancy little scanner like this. I love the scanner, and I'm going to always use it. It is a great way to trade these levels because you don't actually be having to look at these charts like I'm doing right now. I'm only doing this for you guys, but essentially what you're doing is it has to break and it has to close above it. So that is important. That is very important. I learned that early on from many great traders, and I've learned it. I've seen it. I've studied it, and it works, right? And so what I mean by that is as soon as this candle was broken or as soon as this candle was closed, it needs to be above this. And so see this zone right here, this blue zone. Let's zoom this up a little bit. Was this candle closed above or below the zone? I'm going to be Dora the Explorer. Yes or no? Right now. No, it wasn't. It actually closed right here. It closed right below this. So this next candle, this next hour, it tried to push above. So if I would jump down on the minute chart, right, you would see these ticks go up, and then boom, and it just crashed back down. And it didn't close above it. And I personally think that the hourly chart is a very good, it's a great chart to look at. A lot of eyeballs are on the hourly chart, and so that's the one that we are focused on. So did this close above? No, it didn't. Then this next candle wasn't even close. The next candle, 3, here's the third one. It tried again and it couldn't. And so what happened there? There was 3 rejection points. And these candles, topping tails, whatever you want to call it, there's fancy names for all these things, right? You can study them, you can know them all you want. But essentially, if you see big wicks like that, just know that you're getting rejected. Trades are getting rejected. Folks are trying to get in. They're getting stopped out. Boom, straight back down. And so that's what happened here. Boom, straight back down into another, and then just create another zone. And then here we go. So here's the next one. Another time, it could not break it. And then again, the 4th time. Here's another 4 right here. They could not break that. It could not break the zone. And so sure enough, we actually got a bounce, and it bounced to the downside till finally, see what happens. And so look what happens whenever you zoom up and you look at this stuff. Look at this candle. Look at that candle. It finally broke out, and it finally closed above right here. That's your entry. Your entry's above this zone. And then what do we do here? So let's go ahead and see what happens after it finally breaks out. It's just a rocket to the upside. Continue to just go straight up. And again, it won't happen. Like I said, it's not going to happen every single time. No strategy is 100%. Nothing will be perfect. But that is a great breakout zone. And that's the kind of stuff that we all live for. All the traders out there, all you guys that are watching this, we all live for that beautiful candle right there. Rocket to the upside. Get in, and then it just continues to just go straight up. So that's a great trade. Not all of them are going to be like that, but I love to see it. You love to see it at these breakout zones, and that's exactly what happens. And again, we can see it right here. This was a breakout. Continue to retest it, and then this actually was just pretty much bouncing right off of this line right here, and then this continued to another previous zone. So, and we could just watch this all day long, all day, every day. But what I love about this is that I can constantly be keeping an eye on the altcoins. I can be keeping an eye on Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything going on in the crypto world. And in fact, I can be doing stocks as well, and even a little bit of Forex, right? And so that is what the scanner is doing. We're doing a lot of cool stuff in there. Again, I'm going to be linking in the description if you want to check this out. I do continue to have a special on it. I'm not going to keep it on for very much longer. But if you jump in that link and you see that there is a special, go ahead and grab it because it ain't gonna last much longer. And if there isn't a special price, well, still get it anyways. No, you don't have to get anything. You don't have to purchase anything. You don't have to do anything. However, just know this, that support, just remember the support and resistance levels are some of the most critical and some of the most important levels that you can trade. And I'll have some classes. I'll have some free stuff on here on the YouTube channel. So keep an eye on that. Keep checking that out. But I just wanted to talk to you guys real briefly about this scanner and about these trades and some of the trades that are just absolutely crushing it. See all you Forex guys out there, or all you crypto guys out there that are, wanting to trade these altcoins. And I'm not trading the coins where you're, they're silly little Musk or like whatever the tickers are that'll pump and dump. These are Solana. We're talking about Ethereum. We're talking about, XRP, Chainlink, Litecoin, and Cardano and things like that. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and check that out. If not, remember support, remember resistance, how important it is. Keep your eyeballs on those levels, and I hope you guys do well in your trading journey. I'll catch you guys in the next video.